Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog. So obviously this film had a lot of controversy around it, the original trailer that came out. People did not obviously really enjoy the original character model and how Sonic looked. So the studio went back, the visual effects artist went back and completely changed it. People had a lot more positive reaction to the new character model, and I have to say, I feel like the film definitely benefited from that switch. And all that being said, that doesn't mean the movie doesn't have its problems. While I did really enjoy the movie, I thought it had some really fun moments. It is, at the end of the day, a children's movie, and it's definitely really targeting towards children. And as an adult, a lot of the humor I thought was a little childish, a little goofy, but I think little kids will enjoy it. It's a very bare bones script. It's very silly in its writing, but some of the interactions with the characters were really fun. It did have some really heartfelt moments in it. But this movie has a lot of story about friendship and belonging and fitting in, and you get those warm and fuzzy moments, particularly between Sonic and Tom. Their relationship was a nice little buddy cop, kind of play off each other, really learn to love each other kind of thing, and I did enjoy it. I thought there were some moments where I was like, you know what, I do like that. Also, the interactions back and forth between Sonic and Dr. Robotnik were some of the standout moments of the film, but they came a little few and far between. I thought there would be more interaction between the main villain and the main hero in the movie, but you didn't get a ton of that until the last 20 minutes or so. That being said, I thought that Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik was a standout. This is Jim Carrey in full Jim Carrey mode, just almost the Mask style ridiculous. There's a scene where he's dancing and it's just so off the rails. You can tell they let him do whatever he wanted to do, and it really does show there, and it is enjoyable seeing him in full effect. There were some moments where I'm watching it and it did kind of harken back to the 90s Saturday morning cartoon feel of the animated series Sonic, which is something I really enjoyed. I did like the video games and I read some of the comic books, but I really did enjoy the animated series, and I felt some of that. I would have liked more, though, as a fan, to get even more immersed into the Sonic universe, maybe introduce some other characters. I would have loved to see maybe Tails or Knuckles or Shadow, or there's so many other characters that you can bring into the fold, and you get a little tease of that in the very beginning of the film, not to give anything away, but I would have liked to see more of that, and I was hoping maybe we were going to have some transportation back and forth to different planets, as you see with the rings in the trailer. He uses his rings to go to different planets and travel in different places, and I thought maybe we would expand on that. But maybe they're leaving that for a sequel. They did leave it open for a sequel at the end of the film, not to give anything away, and I would like to see that sequel. Another thing this movie had that I really enjoyed, which is something I normally don't like in movies, to be honest with you, is it had a really good end credit scene. If you're a big fan of Sonic and you're a big fan of this franchise in general, it's definitely worth staying after the credits to see. There's something that happens right before the credits, and it's a pretty cool credit sequence where you're seeing the old style of Sonic from the SEGA games, but seeing that last part was definitely worth staying. I don't want to give it away, but it's definitely something that you're going to want to check out. Visual effects I thought looked pretty good. There were times that they didn't look completely finished. The character model, while it is really cute and it is much better than the original, it just didn't look complete sometimes. It popped a little bit off screen. Sometimes with a computer-generated character interacting with real-world people, real-world sets, it looks a little off, and it did at times, but I thought most of the time, especially when he's completely alone or doing some of the cool powers that he can do, it looked really interesting, and it looked well done. It almost reminded me of Detective Pikachu with Pikachu, but that just looked just the slightest bit better, and that might just be because of the limited time frame, having to go back and completely redo the model. But I thought, all in all, the action set pieces, the robots, him, it looked serviceable. As far as it goes with the script, like I said, it is a children's movie, so the comedy is very childish. There were a few laugh-out-loud moments for me, particularly the interactions between Robotnik and Sonic. They were really the standouts of the film. I love Sonic as a character, and you get that kind of bad boy attitude, 90s thing from him in this. The movie does have a little bit of a 90s feel at a time, especially with this character, so I did like that. Obviously, Robotnik over the top ridiculous. I did enjoy that. So there were some things that I thought worked well script-wise with the characters, but all in all, it is a kids movie, so most kids movies struggle with that outside of something of like a really well done Pixar film, or even something that we've seen in recent years from DreamWorks, things like that. It just doesn't really push it to that level. The idea at the beginning of this movie, you see the SEGA logo come up, you're seeing some of the classic video games there, and it kind of makes you feel like, how cool would it be to have a SEGA or any kind of video game expanded universe, and seeing all these like classic characters that you loved as a kid come back onto the screen. So that made me feel warm and fuzzy inside, seeing Sonic, seeing some of the homages, whether it be the music, even the name of the town, Green Hill, the Green Hill Zone. You're getting things that fans will enjoy while making it more accessible for a younger generation, people that don't know anything about Sonic. Obviously, he hasn't been nearly as relevant as he was in the 90s and even early 2000s. So I do like that it didn't focus too much on that, so young kids can get to enjoy the character, really enjoy Sonic for who he is as a personality, and maybe we'll expand on that in the future. Maybe this movie will do really well. I do think that people should go out and see it, reward the team for listening to the feedback of the audience and just going out there and supporting something like this. So all in all, I would give Sonic a 6.5 out of 10. A lot better than I thought it would be. Obviously not completely polished, not perfect as a movie, but I do love that they took the feedback. I do think Sonic as a character was great. Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik was just so much fun on screen, so animated and bombastic, and just having these really beloved characters come to the big screen in a way that I don't think I would have ever seen them was something that I enjoyed. But, at the end of the day, it does get pulled back by just having a very basic script, very basic story, and some very childish dialogue. So again, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and let me know how you felt about Sonic the Hedgehog. Did you enjoy it? Was it something that if you took kids to see it, did they like it? I know in my theater there were a lot of kids there, and it's weird. Like, I feel like as an adult, I should have known this is a kid's movie, but it's something from my childhood, so I feel like it's almost targeted towards my demographic, like older, like, I don't know. But I do think it works well as a kid's movie, and I would like to see how they expand in the future if they do get a sequel. So thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.